Nigel Quigley, Ireland. We're going to pull up the squad for us. You're going to tell us about inclusions, omissions, and all the rest of how you think things are going to be.
Okay, well, I think the squad in general is fairly predictable. They're the top players in Ireland at the moment. Notable inclusions would be, I suppose, Tom O'Toole getting his first cap, although I don't think we'll see much from him. I'm not sure he's quite ready to step up to international. I thought we might have seen Eric O'Sullivan ahead of him, actually. But other than that, the pack is pretty much as expected. In the backs, I think we see, for me, and I was listening to another podcast today, that it seems to me that Billy Burns has stepped into the number 2 shirt, possibly because he offers something a bit different. I think Ross Burns is a great solid player, but he's very samey. We've gone with, in nines, Joe Lyons. We've gone with Craig Casey, Murray and JGP. And Casey certainly is an exciting prospect. The John Cooney thing, I'm just fed up with it. I don't get it, so there's just no point in going there. And to be honest, Luke McGrath's exclusion is a bit of a surprise too. He seems to have fallen out of favour lately, but yet on the pitch, he still delivers. And I think that possibly there are 2 nines that should be in the squad. Anyway, move on. In the centres, we've got 5 centres, which basically equates to 4 and a tackle bag holder. I certainly hope he gives Stu McCluskey some game time this time, because he's been to quite a few camps now and not got much game time. And if he's not going to give him that, he might have been better looking at somebody like James Hume, a development player, bring somebody in. I certainly hope he's going to give him some game time this time around. Back 3, due to injuries, etc., no real surprises. Jordan Larmour's back fit. Hugo Keenan, who's shown very well, for Leinster. James Lowe, we know what he can do in a Leinster shirt. I haven't seen it in an Ireland shirt yet, but it's coming, I would think. And, despite the claims of a lot of the, frankly, Dublin press saying that the likes of Stockdale had been omitted from the squad, it was nice to see Stuart Farrell and Johnny Sexton come out today and say, no, he's a loss, he's injured, he'll be back mid-tournament, hopefully. And I'm thinking there's a few players that might be back. The names will come to me. So I think it's a fairly predictable squad. What my hope is that we have a game plan that is maybe slightly different to before, and perhaps a plan B. And actually, I think Billy Burns might be the key to that. And I hark back to when Ireland used to have O'Gara and Humphreys as 10s. They played in the same team, very different players. He would always start with Ronan O'Gara. If it went well, he played the majority of the game. If it didn't go well, and he needed to change it up, he would bring David Humphreys on, because he would be a little more varied in his kicks. He baffled defences at times, and that gave the Irish backs a bit of time to play on the ball.
John Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, as it's the traditional Ireland squad, isn't it? We see there's, the plethora of talent that's coming from the Irish academies and making its way in. John Cooney is a really interesting one. From a Scottish perspective, we're sitting here going, you were Scots qualified, mate. You could have been over here, and we would have certainly had space for you in our squad. But there you go. That's the breaks. That's the decision he's made, and so be it. Again, I think Ireland under Farrell, we've been saying it now for a wee while. They have to really, the point that was made about Plan B earlier on. They do have to start looking at having a Plan B, and I think they haven't really progressed much under Farrell. If anything, they've possibly regressed slightly, and it will be interesting to see if they can change that. I don't think they can, whilst we're still relying on, as you say, Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton as your axis. You're not going to change the way they what they do is they do what they do well, but you're not going to get a different game plan out of them. And that's Ireland do need to evolve their game plan. If they're going to get past quarterfinals at World Cups, they've got to evolve their game plan now. They've got to try something different, and they've got all the talent in the world to do it. You've got guys like Ben Healy tearing trees up at Munster who offer something different, but you pick Sexton. So, oh well.
Yeah,